The world's energy map just shifted. It's a masterclass in how the U.S. uses its resources to maintain global dominance. Oil prices just surged past $102 a barrel after Donald Trump announced a massive deal with Xi Jinping. Following their summit in Beijing, China has agreed to buy a staggering amount of American crude oil. But if you think this is just a simple trade deal, you're missing the bigger picture. For the first time in years, China is pivoting away from the Middle East and toward Texas. Why? Because the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed due to the ongoing conflict in Iran, cutting off 20% of global supply. China is desperate for energy security, and they've realized that relying on a war-torn Middle East is a liability they can no longer afford. By agreeing to buy U.S. oil, China isn't just fueling its factories, it's handing the U.S. a strategic leash. The U.S. is currently the world's largest oil producer, pumping over 13.6 million barrels every single day. Every barrel China buys from the U.S. is a barrel they aren't buying from America's adversaries. This deal allows the U.S. to shrink its massive trade deficit while simultaneously making the world's second largest economy dependent on American energy. And here's the real kicker for 2026. The U.S. is currently draining its Strategic Petroleum Reserve at a record pace to meet this demand, with 40% of those emergency releases being shipped overseas. We are essentially exporting our national security buffer to stabilize global markets and cement our energy dominance. When the U.S. controls the global supply of both the currency and the energy needed to run an economy, it becomes the ultimate gatekeeper. Oil prices didn't just jump because of a deal, they jumped because the market realized the U.S. just became China's primary gas station. So while the headlines talk about trade truces and bowing orders, the reality is a total reshuffling of who holds the power in the next decade. If the U.S. now controls both the money you spend and the fuel you need to survive, are we watching the birth of a new kind of empire? How would your daily life change if the price of your commute was suddenly a bargaining chip in a high-stakes game between two men in a room in Beijing? Subscribe for the deep dives the mainstream media won't give you.